Hidden meanings in Shirdi Sai's philosophy. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswati Namaha. Om Sri Samartha Sadguru Sainathaya Namaha. In chapters 11 and 15 of Sri Sai's Satcharita, Baba addressed himself as a servant of his devotees. He also said that he could be found in everybody's hearts. Before going to the actual topic, I request you to accept my humble pranams as Saibanisa. For today's discourse, I have selected few points from Sri Sai's Satcharita by Hemadri Pant and The Incredible Sai Baba by Arthur Osborne. I would express my views on them. Today's discourse is outcome of my efforts to understand Baba's philosophy and its inner meanings. Before making a start, I would like to mention that views are based on my own understanding. In one of the 11 assurances in chapter 25 of Sai Satcharita by Hemadri Pant, Baba said, "My bones shall speak from my tomb and help my devotees in overcoming difficulties." How is this being possible? And what significance could be attached to this assurance? I tried to analyze and like to put before you my opinion. While doing so, I would limit myself to the extent of power associated with Baba's bones inside the Samadhi Mandir in Shirdi. As an introduction, I would like you all to recollect the role played and the greatness attached to the bones as mentioned in Mahabharata and in Puranas. In a bid to defeat Rakshasas, Indra used Dadichas Maharshi's spinal cord as Vajrayudha, as a weapon for destruction of the evil forces. In Mahabharata, Shakuni, the maternal uncle of Kauravas, instigated Duryodhana to invite Dharmaraja into gambling. Shakuni used magical dice made out of side bones of his late father. Duryodhana successfully defeated Dharmaraja in the game. Thus Shakuni became the root cause for the beginning of great war of Mahabharata. However, towards the end, Kauravas were ruined as per Shakuni's master plan. In both the above examples, bones of great people were used for the welfare and benefit of the masses. Let us go a bit further and try to understand the fundamentals about bones as per medical sciences. Bones are made up of calcium and phosphorus. Bones turn into ashes at higher temperatures above 1000 degrees centigrade, as we see in the funeral pyre. Scientists also say that when a body kept in a coffin and buried in the soil takes roughly 600 years for the bones to turn into ashes at normal temperatures. In scientific terminology, the process of conversion of bones into ashes is called biodegradation. Subsequently, powdered ash becomes a source of renewed energy, as energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but only undergoes a change in form. We also know that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Shirdi Sai attained Mahasamadhi on 15th October 1918 on the day of Vijayadashmi festival. However, his last rites were performed on 16th October 1918. His mortal remains were kept underground inside Butiwada. I therefore wish to say that power associated with the mortal remains of Baba will undergo a change of form only after 600 years. I will consider myself successful if I can influence devotees' thinking also on similar lines and work towards increasing their faith in Shirdi Sai. Let us recollect what Baba has said in court of Dhulia. He told, "People call me as Sai Baba. My father's name is also Sai Baba. My age is lakhs of years. My caste is that of gods, and my religion is Kabir." Let us also recall what Baba had said to Megha in chapter 28 of Sri Sai Satcharita. "Megha, I neither have a form nor existence. I am Sarvantaryami." In chapter 14 of Sri Sai Satcharita, Baba had indirectly asked for Arishad Vargas from Tarkat's wife in the form of ₹6. In chapter 18 of Sri Sai Satcharita, Baba accepted 15 namaskars instead of ₹15 as dakshina from Shama. In chapter 34 of Sai Satcharita, Baba presented ₹9 to Lakshmi Bai Shinde and educated her about the importance of Navavida Bhakti. In chapter 32 of Sai Satcharita, Baba said, "When I was a boy, my employer was pleased with my work and gave me ₹600 as wages." Does that mean to say that Baba as a boy of 16 or 18 years earned a salary of ₹600 in the 18th century? To me, this appeared impossible in those days. As highest ranking government official, British Governor General was paid a salary of ₹500 per month. Then who could give Baba a salary of ₹600? Let us trace to chapter 32 of Sai Satcharita, wherein Baba said, "As a boy, I went to Bidgong. I got the job of a weaver. I worked very hard. My employer was pleased with my work. Prior to me, 3 boys were already employed. First one was paid ₹50, second one was paid ₹100, and the third one ₹150. However, I was paid double of all these 3 amounts put together, which amounted to ₹600. My employer felt happier and rewarded me with good clothes, even a headgear for wearing. However, I have not used them. I kept them in safe custody. What man gives never lasts, and what God gives is never lost." Baba said, "This physical body would go to soil and the breath disappears into the air. I may go anywhere, but Maya is troubling me a lot. I always feel anxious for the welfare of my devotees. You will reap so as you sow. Such opportunities never come again and again. Those who remember my words shall receive the bliss." Let us analyze the above words and try to interpreting the hidden meaning. The weaving of cloth can be understood as an act of putting the humanity on the correct path, placing God in the role of an employer. The 3 boys employed prior to him can be taken as the 3 previous janmas of Sai. A salary of ₹600 means to say that his fame and power would last for another 600 years in this life as Sai, before undergoing a change into some other form. Baba also said that God's given is never lost and man's given never lasts. In this context, he refers to the power and fame. He also said that such opportunities never come again and again, indirectly hinting that it would not happen again. I may go anywhere, may sit anywhere, meaning that he will take a new lease of life again thereafter in some other form. I am anxious for my people. Baba means to say that he would continue to keep tracking his devotees even after assuming a new role. Let us recapture what Baba has said in the Sai Satcharita. He said that his association with Shyama was for the past 72 janmas. In case of Lakshmi Kapadde, he had shown her their association in the preceding 5 janmas. With the Durandhara brothers, he said that his association with them was for the past 600 years and with Purandhare for 700 years. Baba had accepted Arshad Vargas, Navavida Bhakti and Namaskars instead of Dakshina he sought from his devotees. In which form does he means to interpret the 600 rupees of salary he received from his employer? I have already mentioned about Baba's words in chapter 32 of Sai Satcharita. He told that his religion is Kabir. Kabir was born in the year 1398. Kabir attained Mahasamadhi in the year 1518. That amounts to say that Kabir lived for 120 years. Hamad Pant in Sai Satcharitra had said that Baba might have born in the year 1838. Let us now go backwards from the year 1838. Prior to Baba, 3 boys were employed for the process of weaving. Let us analyze the salaries received by them in terms of their ages. The 3rd boy might have born in the year 1688. The 2nd boy might have born in the year 1588, and the 1st boy might have born in the year 1538. Kabir attained Mahasamadhi in the year 1518. It means to say that power in Kabir's bones has lasted up to the year 1538. It lasted for a limited period because Kabir's physical body was neither consigned to flames nor buried deep in the soil. It was disposed of in the waters of holy river Ganga. It might be possible that the bones of Kabir turned into ashes due to different atmospheric conditions in the surroundings. It is logical, therefore, to assume that God has appointed these 4 boys after those 20 years for refining society. One of the 4 boys, Sri Sai Baba, might have born in the year 1838. He was granted with fame and power to last for 600 years. Human body on average cannot live beyond 100 years. Scientists have reasoned that the bones would totally decay in 600 years. The 4th lad presumed to be Sai Baba. His presence and power can be felt up to the year 2518, going by the year of Baba attaining Mahasamadhi in the year 1918. His bones would continue to exercise his assurances from the tomb before undergoing a change into a renewed form after the year 2518. Thereafter, the powder inside the Samadhi Mandir will radiate energy in a different form after the year 2518. This gets confirmed from the fact that while deposing in the court of Dhulia, he said that my age is lakhs of years. We know from science that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. We are generating electricity from hydro, thermal, and other resources for various utilities like heating, driving machinery in our industries, and also for lighting purpose. In all the cases, energy changes from one form to another. So also, I presume that the power of bones inside the Samadhi Mandir will continue to radiate power in a different form after the year 2518 to be useful to his devotees. This is my loud thinking. Baba in the 3rd chapter of Sai Satcharita had said that I am the cause and driving force behind creation, and I am the universal mother. Therefore, I conclude that power of Sai is endless. My bones shall speak from the tomb and offer protection to my devotees confirms the truth in these words. Let us now try to understand the hidden meaning behind the name Sai Baba. Arthur Osborne in his book said that Sai in Persian language means a sadhu, and in Hindi language Baba means father. Baba came to Shirdi in the year 1858 as a young fakir along with the marriage party of Chand Patil. Mahilsapati addressed Baba as Avo Sai. From that day onwards, we all believe that he was addressed as Sai Baba. However, in my opinion, the word Sai has been in use for lakhs of years in our Sanatana Dharma. We address Lord Sri Mahavishnu as Shashasai and Lord Sri Krishna as Vatapatra Sai. There are 2 meanings attached to the usage of Sai in 2 different contexts. One is Swami and the other one is Lord in lying down position, which ultimately means the same holiness to us. I was thinking, whether there could be a meaning in the English language for the word Sai. I could not believe my own eyes as I searched for its meaning in 20th century Chambers Dictionary. In the Brazilian forests of South America, people normally addressed monkey as Sai. As per Darwin's theory, mankind's origin is traced to monkey and dates back to lakhs of years. It could even be Maruti, the king of all the monkeys. Probably that is the reason behind our mantras, wherein we chant by addressing Sai as Shiva, Rama, Krishna, Maruti and Aditya Viswarupaya. We can therefore conclude that Sai is a holy name. In chapter 5 of Sai Satcharita, it is mentioned that Chand Patil lost his horse. After walking a distance of 9 miles from Aurangabad to a village called Dhoop, he came in contact with Baba. Chand Patil was a well-to-do man and he could as well afford to buy one more horse. He was carrying on his shoulders the saddle which was symbol for Arshad Vargas. He should have otherwise kept them under his control. Hence he lost his horse, the symbol for God's grace. He met Baba after walking 9 miles. That means to say that he could meet Baba only after adopting one of the Navavidha Bhaktis. In Mahabhagavatam, Haigriva is one of the avatars of Sri Mahavishnu. He was a great scholar and possessed the face of an horse. Let us look into chapter 25 of Sai Satcharita, wherein 9 balls of horse dung was mentioned. The interpretation by Dada Kelkar, one of the ardent devotees Baba, was horse meaning the God's grace. 9 balls of horse dung are the 9 forms of devotion for invoking God's attention. By practicing one of the 9 forms of devotion with faith, God would surely come to your rescue. Chand Patil therefore adopted one of the 9 forms and won the God's grace in the form of his lost horse with the help of Baba. In chapter 37 of Sai Satcharita, Baba said to Tatya, "Guard me. If you desire, you may go home in the night, but do come and check me once in a while to take care of me." Why did Baba, who eschewed to protect his devotees, talk so like an ordinary man? What could it mean? During night time, Baba used to leave his physical body and venture out in some form of other to attend his devotees' calls. He used to pray God and work for the welfare of his devotees. He asked his ardent devotees to keep vigil so that his meditation and prayer for other needy devotees was not disturbed by trespassers. On one night, a lady devotee in Nimon village was on the deathbed. Baba wanted to pray the whole night and save her. He asked Mahilsapati to monitor so that no one entered to cause disturbance to his meditation. But at 6 o'clock in the morning, orderly of Kopargam Tahsildar disturbed Baba. He had ignored the words of Mahilsapati and forcibly entered Dwarkamai. As a result, the woman in Nimon village died due to her illness. Baba later blamed Mahilsapati for the lapse. Baba therefore deputed his trusted devotees, either Tatya or Mahilsapati, to keep guarding whenever he went into prayer or meditation. At times, he used to stitch his torn kafni. He used to gently rub the coins, uttering the names of his devotees. What could that mean? When his kafni was torn, it is an indication that some devotees at a distant place was going through difficulties. Baba engaged in the act of repairing his torn kafni and made difficulties of the devotees to disappear. By rubbing coins, he would be relieving the pain of his devotees at a remote place and minimize the suffering while uttering their names. Baba's attaining Mahasamadhi was indicated a week before by breakage of a brick which Baba always had by his side. Baba said, "This is not just a brick alone. It was my companion throughout my life. It provided me an inspiration and cause to live. Today, it has left me alone. Now my course of life is totally changed." What could these words mean? Brick is a symbol for the 4 directions and 4 corners and has 8 nodal points. When artis are sung for Baba, we address him as Digambara. Digambara means a person having all the 8 directions as bodily cover. We also know that bricks use a raw materials drawn from all the 5 basic elements of the universe like earth, water, sky, fire and air. Even human body is made out of all these elements. Breaking of the brick in this context means the splitting up of the 5 basic elements. That happened to be an indication for the approaching event of Mahasamadhi of Baba. Now again, let us look into chapter 32 of Sai Satcharita. Baba was going through thick forests along with his friends and lost their way. They came across a Banjara through whom Baba could meet his Guru. Baba was taken to a well, his legs were tied up and was suspended in upside down position to a tree 3 feet above the water level. After remaining in that position for few hours, Guru questioned Baba how he felt. Baba replied, I have experienced a bliss which is beyond description. What do these words mean? Suspension downwards means the position of a child inside the mother's womb. 3 feet above the water level was to remain away from the Trigunas. After 9 months, the child enters into this world crying to face ordeals of routine life. Guru, under those conditions, offers shelter to his Shishya and induce him to spiritual world. Child remains happier inside a mother's womb for 9 months. Here I would like to mention that Sukamahamuni happily remained inside his mother's womb for 16 years, comfortably listening to Vedas and holy scriptures read by his father. Baba performed Khandayog and Dhauti in Dwarkamai. What is the secret behind this act? We all know that Baba took his devotees' diseases onto him while giving them the required relief. For example, the TB of Bhimaji Patil, plague of Kapade's son, and the tumor of Dr. Pillai, etc. He shared the disease of his devotees to minimize their pain and agony. Thus, by resorting to Khandayog and Dhauti, he used to clean his affected organs of his physical body. One day, oil merchants refused to give oil for lighting lamps in Dwarkamai. Baba lighted the lamps with water. What does this signify? Baba, with the power of yoga and faith in God, applied the process of splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen and lighted the lamps. He thus paved the way for developing full faith in one's Guru and God. As per basics of chemistry, water splits into hydrogen and oxygen at 900 degrees centigrade in the presence of a nickel as a catalyst. In water, hydrogen content is more, and Baba lighted the lamps with the same hydrogen. Baba wanted to convey the message that one should live by placing full faith in God. Baba called one of his ardent devotees, B.V. Dev, and questioned him, "Why do you steal the cotton rags when I am waiting here to give you the silk cloth? Why do you go to Balakaram?" Let us try to understand what Baba meant. In the chapter 41 of Sri Sai Satcharita, it is mentioned clearly that Baba can answer any question directly, and it would be wasteful exercise knowing from others. In the initial days of my coming into Sai's fold, I happened to come across a person who claimed responsible for spreading Sai philosophy. Once Baba said to me in a dream, "When I am ready to give you bundles of currency notes, why are you running after someone for few coins?" Since that day, I developed the habit of knowing directly from Sai's Satcharitra whatever I wanted. Baba performed Annadan in Dwarkamai by preparing food himself. He used to put his hand into boiling rice to see whether it was cooked properly or not without feeling the heat and pain. But he burnt his hand when he put it into dhuni to save the child of a blacksmith from falling into the fire at the remote place. Why? He prepared the food and served without anticipating any reward. so his hands was not burnt. But child of blacksmith was falling into the fire due to its karmic deeds. The sufferings of one's karmic deeds have to be undergone by someone or other. Therefore, to save the child, Baba had to take the fruits of child's karmic deeds on himself and thereby underwent the child's suffering. Baba made some of his devotees to read Bhagavatam in the last days of their life. When he was attaining Mahasamadhi, he listened to Rama Vijayam from Sri Vaze. Why this difference? Parikshit Maharaj was going through last days of his life. Sukha Mahamuni read out Bhagavatam for 7 days and granted Sadgati to King Parikshit. Baba on same lines granted Sadgati to Vijayanand, a sannyasi from Madras, by making him to read Bhagavatam for 2 weeks. Baba got his devotee Sri Vaze to read out Rama Vijayam and attained Mahasamadhi on 15th October 1918 on the festive day of Vijayadashmi. Baba used to say that he would draw his men towards him like a sparrow tied with a thread. What could this mean? If we get a sparrow and tie it with a thread, it will keep circling around us. It becomes our duty to see that we protect it, give food and water needed for its survival. Baba, in one of his 11 assurances, also said that there will be no dearth for food and clothing in the houses of his devotees. He added that he will offer the needed protection from his samadhi. It amounts to saying that all devotees are like sparrows drawn to him. Baba watered plants with raw mud pots made by Vaman Tatya. Later he used to keep the pots in upside down position near plants. By evening the mud pots so kept disintegrated into mud. What could this mean? Mud pots are prepared for filling water, whereas God has made human beings to realize His greatness. Man prepared pots with all 5 basic elements, and God made human beings with the same elements. Whether mud pots or human beings, all have to ultimately return to the same place and merge back into the 5 basic universal elements. Baba said that he would fill the hearts of his devotees with an aura of devotion. Baba wanted to convey the ultimate truth. In some of the modern photographs of Sai, we see him adorned with saffron robes, even though Baba had never wore saffron cloths. One day he asked one of his gathered devotees in Dwarka to get saffron cloths. He thus appeared to Mule Shastri in the form of his guru Golav Swami clad in saffron cloths. To keep this memory of the incident live, artists have started painting Baba in saffron. In the painting of Baba by Jaikar, it is shown as Baba had a flower on his head. Who is the person to have prayed Baba with flowers? Baba, until the year 1908, never allowed anybody to worship him. Bapurao, a small boy, while going to his school, placed one flower on Baba's head and worshipped him and later left to his school. Baba, from that day onwards, allowed his devotees to worship him. Thus, Bapurao, a lad of 6 years, became a role model for all of us to worship Baba. In the year 1917, Narvekar's son offered a dakshina of rupees 500 to Baba on behalf of his father. Baba started suffering from fever immediately after accepting the dakshina. Shyama questioned Baba the reason behind sudden fever. In spite of the suffering, Baba replied that once we accept a favor from somebody, we should be in a position to bear all the accompanying difficulties also. Baba said, "My devotee Narvekar was suffering from fever, and I have accepted dakshina sent by him as along with his fever also." Baba recovered after 1 day and he performed Annadan to the poor with the dakshina received from Narvekar. We all know about Amra Leela, wherein Baba said, "These fruits are for Damya. He should eat them and die." Damu Anna got scared with the words of Baba, but Mahilsapati interpreted as the death is for the ego of Damya and as such is a blessing from Baba. Let us understand the inner meaning of the words. Damu consulted his astrologers. They professed that he cannot have any issue even though was having 2 wives. Any issueless to be blessed with an issue means to go through another Janma once again. It amounts to Baba bestowing Damya with an apparent death for a moment, that is creating a pause in life. Later advised him to give the mango to his younger wife. Subsequently, she conceived and bore a son for Damya. Let us look into chapter 8 of Sai Satcharita. Baba, Mahirsapati and Tatya used to sleep with their heads pointed towards north, east and west directions. Why did they exclude the direction of south? In geography, movement of people and life is concentrated in the 3 directions of north, east and west. But lot of mineral wealth is there in the southern direction. For those in the materialistic world, sleeping with a head in the south direction is advised. But for those in the spiritual world, it is forbidden. That is why Baba never slept with his head in the southern direction. Baba in the 8th chapter said that his Guru has shaved his head and accepted a dakshina of 2 paisa. The inner meaning of shaving the head is to remove the inner ego, and asking for 2 paisa as dakshina is to demand shraddha and saburi. In return, Guru said that he will be by the side of his Shishya always. Our offering of hair in holy abode of Lord Venkateshwara in Tirupati is also the same. I would like to emphasize the words of Sai as told directly. I would like to give everything in this world asked by my devotees, so that finally they have nothing else left to ask except what I want to give them. Let us all therefore fulfill our responsibilities in this world and receive the spiritual wealth what Baba wants to give us. Jai Sai Ram. Jai Sai Ram.